Hello, beautiful people. How you feeling? How you living? This is Jackie, your Lotus Link founder, president, CEO, and queen. Oops. Hello, beautiful people. How you feeling? How you living? This is Jackie, your Lotus Link founder, president, CEO, and queen, here to deliver you another episode of Jackie of All Trades. Now, normally I would record these episodes a week prior. I did that, but what I had recorded after watching it so many times, editing it so many times, it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. So, because I still said that I was going to do one, drop one today, you're just going to get this one on the fly. It's not live, but it's kind of live because I'm not going to edit anything out. So, hopefully, I don't say too much. But if I do, guess it is what it is. This is what I signed up for. So, with that being said, let's get into it and welcome to history class. Because I am here to give y'all a history lesson. And when I tell y'all I'm about to take you back, I'm about to take you back, 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 back. But before I take you back to that, I'm going to take you back even further and give you a little bit of information regarding your DNA. So, get your pencils, get your notebooks, get ready to take some notes because ding, ding, class is in session. Now, I'm gonna start out by telling you about your melanin. In case you don't know what that is, it is a natural pigment that gives color to the hair, skin, and eyes. It also protects the skin from sun damage, UV radiation to be exact. It actually absorbs the UV rays from the sun, preventing damage to the skin cells. It also acts as an antioxidant, eye protection, wound healing, immune system support, and so much more. And I had to start with that first because I need you guys to know. I expressed this so many times. You already have the tools. God had designed you, not just to survive, but to thrive in this world. So not only do you have that spiritual power, but he said that's not enough. I'm going to give them also some power to thrive in the physical. So your melanin alone is power. There's so much more to it. But if I talked all about it, it would take this whole podcast episode. Then I'm going to have to do another one to get through the rest of my history lessons. I probably should have broke down these history lessons into different little chapters, but I'm going to squeeze it all in. And, those that know, they know. And the ones that want to do their research on it, they'll go and do their research on it. Either way it go, y'all gonna get the message. And I love y'all regardless. Continue to bear with me. Again, this is on the fly. So now let's really tap into it. So first I want to touch on the Agoge. And I know y'all know the Agoge if y'all seen The Woman King. Of course, the Agoge is an all-female military regiment from the kingdom of Dahomey in West Africa. So yes, they were real. It was a real tribe. They was some real military women who did not play no games at all whatsoever. They raided villages. They took captives. They even took heads off and took them back to the king as trophies. I'm talking about off with their head. Can I do that? I guess. But and took them back to the king as trophies. So they were ruthless. Ruthless, if I said that word right. But and the reason why I paid attention to these group of women is because we today have this idea of protection, and protection goes both ways. We protect each other. It's not about who can protect who more. We all have a part to play. And we should not just limit ourselves by what we think we should. We shouldn't limit ourselves to act the way that society tries to tell us that it's normal to act. Because our history tells us that we can do anything. We could be just as ruthless. We could be just as hard of some fighters. We can get out here and get it. And the crazy thing is that their original names were, and I know I'm probably not saying this right, but Nenomenton, and that meant our mothers. We are just natural protectors. That's why we are so strong. That's why we're so resilient. We don't have an attitude problem. We just don't play no games. Doesn't make us angry. It just deep down inside of us, we know the power that we hold. And we know the respect that should be given to us. So, the leader, the woman king herself, her name was Queen Hangbei. Again, I know I'm probably saying some of these wrong. It's okay. Bear with me. Um, but she actually ended up becoming a woman king because she did it, becoming queen because she got to rule over the kingdom for some time after her brother had passed. So, she actually did become the woman king, which is pretty dope because, it wasn't that many that held that title without it being through marriage. But again, it's nothing that we can't do. So, with that being said, my women, do not back down, dim your light, or let somebody get off by saying something that's incorrect because you're afraid of how you will come off if you correct them. Don't do that. It's okay to stand up for yourself because that is who you are. Strength is who you are. It's okay to fight for yourself while you're fighting for others. It is okay to stand up for yourself. And if the rest of the world want to look at you like you're angry for that, then let them. That's their problem. That's not yours. You were designed to stand up for yourself. You were designed to be strong. You were designed to be resilient. It's in you. It's not on you. So don't hide it. Show your power. Now, I'm going to take you to someone else that I like, and that is Mansa Musa. And he is the 9th Mansa of the Mali Empire. In case y'all don't know what Mansa is a king or ruler. The Mali Empire is actually a large part of the Ghana Empire. So, and he was one of the richest men in the world, probably the richest man in the world. And his income totaling, if you were to count it up today, was 600 billion. So, yeah. But let's not forget how I'm going to get into how he earned it. I just got to turn the page in my lessons. But he had control over the taxes and the trades from salt from the northern regions and gold and mine in the Bambuk and Bar that's like down to the south. I know I'm probably saying those names wrong, but it's down south. So he traveled everywhere. And he always had a large entourage and a vast amount of gold. But also while he was traveling with these things, he was incorporating other cities to his territory. So He was gaining land in the process. So he always found a way, even while he was traveling with these large entourage and with these vast amounts of gold, he was still always putting that work in to keep that money flowing. Always. And so I say that to say to my men, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. Don't be too flashy. Don't be too loud. Don't be too this. Don't be too that. If you worked hard enough and you got it like that, go ahead and flaunt it. Chin up, chest out, and be proud of it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You work hard for it. You put in the knowledge. You put in the work. The least you can do is be allowed to be happy with what you have without somebody telling you that you're doing too much. No, we ain't doing that. So, kings, y'all been out there working hard and busting your behind, and you want to show what you done worked hard for, do that. You ain't doing too much. Anybody that's telling you that you're doing too much can't handle you anyway. And that's okay. That's all right. It ain't too many people that can handle us. Now, excuse me because I'm still going through my history lessons. Um, they in different, my notes are in different things. Because my handwriting is bad, so I had to change it. But now I'm gonna go to Queen Nzanga. And again, y'all can correct me if y'all want to. I don't care. I would like it if somebody could tell me how to pronounce these right. But she was the daughter of the king of Ndongo. She received military and political training as a child, which led her to the diffusing of a political crisis um, as an ambassador to the Portuguese Empire. Now, of course, you're going to see that even though she diffused that crisis, her and Portuguese got into it over and over and over. First, she was defeated by Portuguese. Then, of course, she went and she got some allies, came back, defeated Portuguese. It was a whole back and forth feud for a long time. You win some, you lose some. Until there was a whole treaty that was signed between them. That's how they ended up stopping that feud. The reason why she stood out to me and why I felt like she telling you guys about her is because there are going to be times where we go through the ups and the downs. We're not going to always win them all. But what we will do is what she did. That's the kind of people we are. Oh, okay, you won this one. But let me go back and get something. I'll be back. I'll be right back. And she came back harder and she fought to the point of where the only thing that was left to do was to sign a treaty. That is who we are. We gonna fight and we gonna fight and we gonna fight. You knock us down, guess what? Okay, but we'll be right back because we ain't gonna take that line down. We have not ever been the type of people to just take something lying down. No, we always find a way to get right back up and to fight again. And if we gotta go get some help, that's what we do. That's what we're all here for. If you can't do it, call me. If I can't do it, I'm making phone calls. Come on. Either way it go, we were made to stand together. We're always stronger together. Now, I am going to take y'all to Imhotep. And the reason why I'm going to talk about him is because he was not a king at all. He actually was a chancellor for a king. And if you don't know what a chancellor is actually someone in the legal office. So they higher up in the government. As well as he was a possible architect for the pyramids that was for the king, and he was a high priest to the sun god Ra. So even long and people listen to him so much and follow his teaching so much that even long after he had gone to glory, he had become known as the great author of wisdom. So he was very well known, very looked up to. Everybody listened to this man and all the things that he had to say. He was not a king, but again, everybody has their role to play. So even years later, he was still being recognized for the things that he's done. And again, I bring him up because I need people to understand that we are one body, many members. Everybody has a part to play. Everybody can't be a king. Everybody can't be a queen. Everybody can't have wisdom. Some people need direction. Some people need guidance. Some people are fighters. Some people are warriors. Some people are servants. And it's not a servant in a bad way. Some people just have that serving spirit. And that's okay. Do what makes you happy. Again, one body, many members. You can't do much if everybody trying to be a hand. The body ain't gonna be able to do much. It's not gonna be able to do much if everybody's trying to be the foot. It's definitely not gonna get nowhere if everybody's trying to be the head. Where is it going? If all you got is a head, not very far. So don't be afraid to do what makes you happy, regardless of what position that is in life. So now, those were a little ancient times. And again, even back then, they've shown us that we come from wealth, strength. We're fighters. We play our part and we play it well to the point to where we ain't gotta be a king or a queen to be recognized. We can be recognized for years later for just being us, being wise, serving, as Imhotep did. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward it a little bit, and I'm gonna bring y'all to somebody else that was still over in the motherland now. Even though I'm over here in the motherland and I'm teaching about in this history lesson is starting off in the motherland, just know that I do know that we all didn't come from the motherland, and that's okay. But this history lesson is still for everybody, so keep paying attention. Now, I'm going to bring y'all to Nelson Mandela, and I was reading his story, and I just love us. I just love us. Now, he was the first president of South Africa. He was also an anti-apartheid activist. In case you don't know what the apartheid is, please go and do your research, because again, that is something that could be discussed through that could take up a whole nother podcast episode. You know? But so Nelson Mandela and everything that he has done and accomplished. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. See, that's a mess up. Bear with me. Okay, now we could also go into Nelson Mandela and everything that he's done and accomplished, but again, I'm just gonna hit the main points because talking about Nelson Mandela could be a whole nother episode alone because he has done so much. So I'm just gonna really just hit the main points. But he was the president of South Africa. And as the president, because he stood up for his people, he actually ended up going to jail. And let's not forget, not only did he go to prison for fighting against the apartheid, but he also was sentenced to life in prison for this. So this man who was president, y'all know these presidents ain't fair to go to jail for us. They barely want to go to jail for themselves. But this man was willing to go to jail for life because he fought for his people and stood up for what was right. And because he was that type of person, people fought back for him to the point to where he only ended up doing 27 years. Now, I know 27 years is a long time, but again, let's remember, he started off with life. So because they were scared of a civil war happening, they ended up letting that man go after 27 years. Now, the reason why I say that is because that right there should let you know how strong we are as a people. So that right there is a reminder that, if as long as we stick together, there is strength in numbers. There is so much strength in numbers that they released this man after giving him life. And not only that, when he got out, he was completely celebrated. And they tried to treat him as though he was a criminal. All because he fought for his people. My hat be going off to a lot of people. I'd be so proud. Not only just of Nelson Mandela, but I'm not just pointing him out in this situation. I'm pointing out the people that fought for him while he was locked up, who was willing to stand up and say, no, free this man. We don't care what we got to go through. We're going to fight we'll fight y'all for what's right. And they got him released. It's amazing what you can do when you come together. There's strength in numbers. Remember that part. Write that part down. Take that note. There is strength in numbers. And I'm telling you to take that note because I am now about to fast forward it. Let me take a sip of water. Hold on. Whew. Because now we about to get into the good stuff. Because now I'm going to bring you back to the States. Okay? And I ain't going to go too far in because our history alone, way before the States, let us know who we are, how strong we are, how wise we are. We can build nothing. We can take nothing and turn it into something. No matter what our position is, no matter what our title is, no matter what our role is, we will always rise, especially when we are together. So let me bring y'all to the States because this is where it gets good. I'm going to start with Miss Harriet Tubman. And I'm going to tell y'all why I'm going to start with her. Because she is, everybody knows her very well. But they just be scratching the surface of who she is. So everybody knows that she's the one that freed the slaves. A lot of them. But she was way more than that. I'm going to tell y'all, she was the original OG. This is what I call the original OG. Because she was the original one that'll let them know, hey, you either get down or you lay down. And if you lay down, you stay down. She did not play no games at all. Because she was not fair to get caught. And let's keep in mind, she did not get caught. Not only did she trust in her physical being to get her from point A to point B, to get them slaves from point A to point B, but more importantly, she trusted her intuition and she used what God had blessed her with and had already instilled in her to lead people to freedom. She used that spirit of discernment to know who was on her side and who needed to go. And again, I love her because not only did she trust her intuition and trust the gifts that God had given her, but she was not afraid to stand up and put you down if she felt like you was going against that. So that right there is a reminder again to trust in what God has already put inside of you. Do not doubt that at all whatsoever, because it could save your life. Again, we were not just created to survive, we were created to thrive. All of the tools are already inside of us. It is already there. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the next person, Nat Turner. Y'all know I had to pull him in too. I had to pull him in too. Why did I have to pull him in? Because he was phenomenal. I'm gonna say that. He's a phenomenal example of trusting in what God said. Again, I can't go too deep into his story because that'll take forever and a day. But he was someone, Nat Turner was the one that they had turned him into a preacher. They taught him how to read the Bible. You know, back then they didn't teach slaves to read to read at all. They didn't want slaves to read at all. But the ones that they needed to use to manipulate others, they taught them how to read the Bible and told them what to read in the Bible to get the slaves to stay in line. But when it came to Nat Turner, he kept on reading. He read and he read and he read, and then he was able to realize that no, y'all only telling certain parts. Because when I read this and when I talk to God and when I build that relationship for myself, this ain't what he had for me. This ain't what he had for us. And then he started preaching something different. And then he was teaching others to read as well. At first, now everybody always get mad because yes, they do. A lot of people do. They still do it to this day. They use the Bible to flip it into whatever they need to benefit them. But again, trust what the Spirit is telling you. Trust what is already inside of you. History is going to keep telling you to trust what God has already put inside of you. It don't matter what the outside looks like at all whatsoever. Trust what he put inside of you. And if you're going to look to the outside, look to the ones that, like the ones that I pointed out, that show you that being resilient, staying together, being wise is what is going to get you ahead. Is going to let you know that everything is going to always be all right. You will always come out on top if you just look within and not what everybody's portraying, especially not what they are portraying us to look like, because we are so much stronger. We are so much more powerful. We are spiritual. And when we tap into all of that, we could become unstoppable. When I say unstoppable, unstoppable. Unstoppable to the point to where I'm a fast forward this history lesson and we are going to jump into a little bit of the future. But hold on, because I got to have an outfit change for this because it's about to get good. Wardrobe. I don't have a wardrobe team. It's just me. Y'all know what time it is. Oh, let me get my mic just in case y'all didn't hear me. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know. Y'all know. We about to tap into that. Dang. Shoot. See what happens when you don't have an actual wardrobe team. Ain't nobody here to tell you when you're not on point. But we're going to keep this ball rolling. Now, so now for to get into some recent people. Now, before I do get into some of the future people, I am just going to start by, thanking the Black Panther organization. They were the organization that was so amazing that they made J. Edgar Hoover say himself that Negro unity was the greatest threat to the U.S. And this was around the time that the Black Panther Party was popping. Now, the Black Panther Party, I'm just going to say this. They actually, they were started and they were founded by some college students, Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton, in October 1966 in Oakland, California. Now, again, these are college students who started this Black Panther movement. So, with that being said, I will never, and I recommend that you all don't either, do not count out our young ones, because our young ones be the ones that, they get it popping. Our young ones are the ones that we got to love on the most, love them for who they are, because again, everybody has a part to play. So don't be mad at them for being them. Let them play their part and do what they do, because they are the ones that are going to change the world. The Black Panther Party has started changing, and as time went on, more organizations, it was just amazing to see, because they practiced unity before they were infiltrated and turned into something that it was not even supposed to be. But they practiced unity. They protected the community. They did this in love. They may have appeared angry or, out of control or whatever, but no, they didn't. They, again, just were the type of people that didn't tolerate nothing, but they were made to seem angry. But I'm just going to let that sit there. But again, my biggest thing is that they know, everybody knows, everybody but us knows the power and the strength that we have when we come together. All we got to do is come together. And when we do, we get so many other greats. Because then we got Miss Angela Davis, y'all. And she was a feminist, a political activist, she was a philosopher, and she was an author. But when I tell y'all, again, these people I can't go into and talk about them for hours. But I'm gonna cut it short because I don't want to keep it too long. But she was such a bad queen that they wanted to put her under the jail. So again, she was so bad that, they wanted to put her under the jail. She was another one that represented strength, fearlessness. resilience. I'm going to keep on saying these words to y'all because that is what we are. And it is those words that we need to feed into ourselves to remind us of who we are. We are way more than just former slaves. So let's just keep on going, because not only did we have her, but you keep on going. And these people were making these things happen around a time where we didn't have that much resources or that many rights. They were fighting for those things for us to have. So here you go, you fast forward, you got Martin Luther King, who was trying to, he was telling us to do things with, a little piece to it, you know, but still stand up for yourself. And then you had Malcolm X, who was like, nah, we're gonna stand up for ourselves by any means necessary. We ain't finna play. They not playing with us, we ain't finna play with them. So, but even them two, both of them were gone, sent on to glory. Not only because of what they stood for, but because they actually were planning on coming together. Again, something happens when we come together. There's strength in numbers. Every time. No matter what. Again, I'm gonna give you some examples where we started from nothing and became something. And every time they tore it down. We have, and you guys can look this up, write it down, and then look these things up. The Atlanta, these are just the different Black Wall Streets that were torn down. We had Atlanta, we had Tulsa, we had Chicago, we had Rosewood, we had Washington, D.C., we had Knoxville. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back and give you the dates. Atlanta, 1906. Look up Atlanta Race Riot, 1906. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. Chicago Race Riots, 1919. Rosewood, 1923. Washington, D.C., 1919. Knoxville, Tennessee, 1919. New York City, 1863. East St. Louis, 1917. All of those cities, when they try to call themselves not wanting to be around us, we didn't care. We just started minding our business and growing with each other to the point to where they was like, oh no, we can't have this. They got too much going on. Especially if you look into the East St. Louis, they were actually afraid that their jobs were going to get taken away, to the point they was like, hey, we gotta go over there and tear stuff up. And that's exactly what they did. So with that being said, again, we can make something out of nothing. The reason why I wanted to give this history lesson is because there's a lot going on right now. And a lot of people are shaken up. A lot of people are a little confused by everything that's going on. And it ain't nothing that we ain't seen. It ain't nothing that we ain't been through already. There's no need to be shaking. You have everything inside of you. You could sit back and relax. We have so many more resources now than we did before. We don't even have to build in one city anymore. We can generate our money all through electronically in other ways. Yeah, but that's another story for another day. We can build the Black Wall Street all over the US, not just in one city. But do not be shaken and do not be moved. Because if these things haven't taught you anything else. And please feel free to do more research, because if this does not tell you anything, it should tell you that we always come out on top. We always come out just fine. Because again, we went from somebody trying to free the slaves to Obama being president. Now, everybody gets, some people be like, well, he didn't do much for people or whatever. But if he didn't do nothing else, he gave hope, because he stood in a position where none of us ever thought we would be able to stand. And it doesn't matter the shade of what he has in him. None of that matters. At the end of the day, that melanin was popping in that White House. Yeah, I know it. I'm going to sip my tea, but it's really water. At the end of the day, y'all, you are strength. Again, you're the blueprint of strength. You're the blueprint of beauty. You were made to not just survive, but to thrive. We have been through enough that this is not going to move us. We're not going to bend and we're not going to bow. We don't need to. Because again, history teaches us that it don't matter what goes on, we're going to come out on top. We're resourceful. We're wise. We're fighters. We just be chilling. We just be chilling and minding our business, and we end up winning anyway. So, queens, sit back, relax, kick your feet up, do what you do best. We'll fight when the time is right. Kings, get out there and pop your stuff because you deserve it. You can walk out chin up, chest out. My young ones, keep on talking your best and keep on doing what you do. Be you unapologetically, because y'all are the future. And I'm already proud of y'all. I don't care what it look like now. I am already proud of y'all. Because, I mean, if you really want to know, they could. What you guys are now, that's probably what they were saying about the Black Panther Party then. Just a bunch of young people just wilding out. No, they got their heads on straight. They know something that we don't. I believe in y'all. I believe in us. And I believe in the power that we all hold. We just need to come together and use it together. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe to my YouTube, Jackie of All Trades. I'm also on Spotify, Jackie of All Trades. It's with an I, not an IE. And yeah, I love y'all. And as always, y'all be blessed. I'm going to go relax now.